in response.
Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake, this is Joel, and on this episode of Jank Tank, Joel is presenting his Esper Sunmare deck. So, before we hear anything else, let's hear what he's going to say. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum.
This week, I am seeking an investment on my new standard deck, Esper Sunmare.
Oh, amazing horse.
Amazing horse. The entire deck is built around Crested Sunmare. Specifically, its ability to pump out 5/5 indestructible horses. You may be going, why blue? I've seen builds of this deck. Most of them are mono white or black white and run Retreat to Hagra. I'm not running Retreat because I'm trying to take advantage of at the beginning of each end step. So you can play Crested Sunmare. At the end of your turn, if your triggers work correctly, you're creating a horse. On their turn, if your triggers work correctly, you gain life on their turn somehow. You create a horse on their turn. By the time it's back to you, you've got 2 5/5 indestructible horses that are ready to swing the turn after you play Crested Sunmare. I accomplished this through these channels. 1, Authority of the Consuls. It's such an aggro-heavy format right now. It's going to have all their creatures come in tapped and slow them down. It's also going to say whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain 1 life. So there you go. There's one way to trigger gaining life on an opponent's turn. More often than not, I'm assuming they're going to be playing creatures on their own turn. Second way to trigger gaining life on their turn is Consul of Allocation.
This card is so good.
Now, it's a fantastic card. First off, it's going to really help keep the swing in your favor because this deck can be a little clunky. Consul says whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So if they have any sorceries in their deck, which I'm assuming they have a couple, whenever they play their sorceries, I'm going to gain life. So I'm going to have 2 different ways for Authority of the Consuls, 3, Consul of Allocation. So I've got 7 ways to gain life on their turn.
And also, I mean, it's non-creature spell. So,
Correct.
I mean, it's artifacts, it's, like anything.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
There's going to be a lot of different
sorceries.
ways to enchantments.
Enchantments, yep. You're absolutely right.
There's going to be a lot of ways that Kemball is going to be a major player in this deck, I think.
I'm a big fan of him.
And he protects himself with Ether Sphere Harvester, which is really cool.
Right. So, before I move into the ways that you gain life on your turn, we can sidestep for a second and talk about why I have blue in this deck at all. Crested Sunmare creates 5/5 indestructible horses. You play any board wipe against me, fine. It's going to kill my Crested Sunmare. I'm still left with a bunch of 5/5 indestructible horses. After Sunmare's gone, sure, indestructible's gone. But before the board wipe hits, it's still there. Now, there's one card that has been introduced to this format that reads, all creatures lose indestructible until end of turn. 5 damage to all creatures and planeswalkers. Hour of Devastation. That card neuters this deck all by itself. I splashed blue so I can main deck for negate. And that is pretty much the entire reason. Now, when I have blue as a part of my strategy, it opens me up a little bit. And I'm able to run a kind of overlooked planeswalker, Dovin Bond. Now, Dovin Bond curves out very nicely because he's going to drop on turn 4. And he's going to, again, Authority of the Consuls slows him down. Dovin Bond, his +1 ain't that great. Target creature gets -3 until end of turn. Activated abilities can't be activated. That's pretty cool. But the -3, -0, whatever.
He's doing like the exact same thing that Baby Jace does.
Right.
You're really just drawing cards off him and gaining life.
Exactly. His minus ability is what he's in here for. He comes in turn 4, do his plus, fine, slow him down, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Gain him loyalty so he doesn't die as easily. That's pretty beneficial. Mm-hmm. Play the horse the next turn. Take Dovenbon down. Gain 2 life. Draw a card. You're netting a card. You're netting your life. You're netting a horse. That is a fantastic value for taking him down 1 loyalty.
Yeah.
Blue also opens me up to Glimmer of Genius. Now, I messed around with an energy sub-theme for this. It ended up not being worth my time. But Glimmer of Genius is just a fantastic card. Again, you're going to get to scry 2. You're going to net 2 cards. Mm-hmm. It's a little more card draw in case you run out. You can draw your next Crested Sunmare because inevitably it's going to get removed.
Yeah.
The other 2 ways I have Glorybound Initiate as a way of gaining life on my turn. Mm-hmm. It's something that can come in. It can just sit there if it needs to. It can exert. If you play it on turn 2, it could exert once to come back untapped by turn 4 or 5 so that he's ready to swing when you play your Crested Sunmare. Fun, he also will crew Heart of Kirin for me. Heart of Kirin is in this deck. I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket, okay, which was Crested Sunmare. So I do run 3 Heart of Kirin, 4 Gideon, Ally of Zendikar, and 3 Aethersphere Harvester. Now, Aethersphere Harvester kind of does double duty of also being a possible life gain outlet. It's got a crew of 1. Glorybound Initiate's going to crew it all day. Kambal, he can crew it all day. Heart of Kirin is only crewable by Glorybound Initiate and a pinch. Turn getting into a creature if you need to. Probably smarter to take loyalty off of him and do the Heart of Kirin secondary ability. But it gives me an opportunity to have, a secondary strategy. I don't want to call it a secondary win condition because it's kind of a package of a couple cards, but it does increase the strength of the deck overall, I would say. Past that, for Fatal Push, why not? And that is the deck. I hope that it seems impressive to you and that I can get an investment.
Well, let's see here. I like that it isn't, a typical deck.
Yep.
It's got some cards that are pretty typical. Heart of Kirin, Gideon, Ally of Zendikar. But that being said, a deck that's like utilizing Dovenbon and then also kind of wasn't mentioned, but Crested Sunmare, once you have 2 on the field, they protect themselves.
Right.
Because it's other horses you control of indestructible.
Yep,
so once they're out there, like if you get 2 horses, you kind of have like a lock on the game unless they figure out some way to, I don't know. The Hour of Devastation is something that I would be concerned about.
Yeah.
But I like the way Aethersphere Harvester and Glimmer of Genius play together. It does make it to where Glimmer of Genius, the energy that it generates, isn't completely useless, which is kind of cool.
That was another reason, since I did have those 2 cards, that was the reason that I kind of messed around with. Could I work energy into this?
Yeah.
Ended up not.
I think I think it's a pretty cool deck. I like to see how it plays. I think it will come down to just play testing. But I like the cycling lands as well. I think utilizing those, get fetid pools in there and irrigated farmland.
Definitely.
And just having ways to like cycle through the deck, find what you're looking for. Authority of the Councils is a really strong card, and
especially in this meta. I love that
and
card
having a main deck, Authority of the Councils, is really annoying. Like anyone who's playing, black-red right now, or anything with haste,
right,
is just kind of like, oh great, it just enters tapped, you gain life, sure, and then that gives you more time. I don't know. I would almost think, having Fumigate would be a good idea.
Definitely in the sideboard.
Yeah, just because it makes it to where, Gideon gets around Fumigate, Glorybound dies to it, but
Crested Sunmare with a couple horses come out, gets around Fumigate.
Yeah, not bad. So I think I would invest in this deck. I see a couple cards that are definitely investable.
Yes.
I don't know. It's janky. But, we'll see.
What else would I bring to the Jank tank?
To the Jank tank.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let us know if you would invest in this deck.
Or what you would change.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below what you would change, what you would add, what you like and don't like. If you liked the video, think about subscribing. There's a bunch of buttons down there.
Just go click buttons.
Just click them, click them,
click at least one button.
Click at least one button.
Find a button down there to click and click
just
a button.
Find one. Make sure to check out our sponsors links. They're down in the description. Past that, I'm tapped out.
I am tapped out.
Catch you guys next time.
Good day.